Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Power is Now teleconference. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. Later, we'll conduct a question-and-answer session, and instructions will follow at that time. If you need operator assistance, please press star then 0 on your touchtone telephone. I'd now like to turn it over to your host of the Power is Now, Mr. Eric Frazier. Sir, you may begin.
Good morning and welcome to the Power is Now teleconference. The phrase "the power is now" suggests that we maximize our potential for success in business and life when we act on information and opportunities now. The present is our future because the future is only a reflection of past decisions to act now. We are at our best and we maximize our success when we act now. That is what the Power is Now is all about, folks, acting on information now. My name is Eric Frazier, host of the Power is Now teleconference, and this is our 74th teleconference. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Time out of your busy schedule out there selling real estate and listing homes. We really appreciate it. I am also the president of the Orange County Association of Real Estate Brokers, a chapter of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Please go to our website at ocareb.org, and you can check out the national organization at nareb.com. Learn about the organization. Come be a part of what's happening here in Orange County and nationwide. I'm also the branch manager of Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, North Orange County markets. Please consider using one of our team members on your next transaction. And you can contact any member of our team on our website at thedoitnowteam.com, thedoitnowteam.com. We call ourselves the Do It Now team because we work with a sense of urgency, and we have the close-on-time guarantee to back up what we say we'll do. If you are listening outside of Orange County, please go to wellsfargo.com/mortgage to get in contact with a local home mortgage consultant. The Power is Now teleconference is a series of teleconference meetings designed to empower our real estate agent partners to sell more homes, expand their business of buyers and sellers, and to be well informed about changes in lending and government programs that may affect your clients and your business. Please email or call me with any questions you have about the program, and if you would like to be added to our mailing list, just drop me an email at eric.frazier@thepowerisnow.com. eric.frazier@thepowerisnow.com. We really appreciate the feedback, your suggested topics, and we want to continue to add value each and every week on the Power is Now teleconference. Next week, Henish Pulico. He's the Director of Operations for Infinite Asset Management. And you can go to their website at www.infiniteassetmanagement.com. infiniteassetmanagement.com. He's going to be talking about what it takes to be one of the listing agents for this asset management company. And in fact, the whole second half of 2011 is going to be about asset management. We're going to get on our phone all the major asset management companies that are outsourcers for Fannie Mae. And so I'm really looking forward to that series in the second half of 2011. Well, on the call today is Chris Brogan. He consults and speaks professionally with Fortune 100 and 500 companies like PepsiCo, General Motors, Microsoft, and more on the future of business communications, social software technologies. He is a New York Times bestseller, co-author of Trust Agents, and is featured monthly as a columnist at Entrepreneurial Magazine. Chris's blog, and that's chrisbrogan.com, is in the top 5 of the Advertising Age Power 150. He has over 11 years' experience in online community, social media, and related technologies. Chris Brogan is the president of Human Business Works, an online education and community company for small businesses and solo entrepreneurs. His first project there, 501 Mission Place, helps nonprofits and charities learn how to grow capabilities. Chris is also an entrepreneur in residence at Cross Tech Ventures, where he is working to develop new marketing labs and the Pulse Network, among other projects. Chris is also the co-founder of the PodCamp New Media Conference Series, exploring the use of new media community tools to extend and build value. He has 16 years of enterprise telecommunications and wireless experience prior to all of this. Now, if you're wondering why you want to listen or hear what Chris has to say, here's a few things that he has done in the past. He has made, number one, the New York Times and Wall Street Journal's bestsellers list for trust agents. He has written for Entrepreneurial Magazine, Success Magazine, and American Express Open Forum. He won the Mass High Tech All-Star Award for 2008. He has been blogging since 1998 when it was called journaling. Recorded several podcasts, launched a new media network in 2006, a video blogged in several forms, including Small Boxes and Attention Upgrade, built data centers, released software, acquired companies, and all kinds of other fun projects while working for a wireless telecommunications company. He launched a PodCap conference series with Christopher Penn, programmed and hosted a video on Net Conference in 2007, worked on an internet video startup with Jeff Pulver in 2007, and collaborated on tons of social media and social network projects over 2007. Well, that's the background of Chris Brogan. Very, very impressive. Chris, thank you for being on the Power is Now teleconference today.
I'm so happy to be here, Eric. Thanks for having me.
Well, we really appreciate your time. I know you are very busy. In fact, where are you calling from today?
I'm right in downtown Manhattan right now. I'm on the way back from having a conference with the people at the Sybase Corporation, and I am in a hotel downtown called the Roger Smith Hotel, which is a fun little boutique hotel that people should swing by.
Well, Manhattan, I love New York, man. I've done New York in Christmas. In fact, it was my wife and I's 26th anniversary. We spent in Manhattan, and it was snowing, and it was beautiful, man. I think what a place to be.
Wait. This past Christmas, were you here during this?
No, that was about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, yeah.
I was down here for Christmas, and there was the blizzard that came in on the 26th, so we had to get out of town early. Otherwise, we would have been stuck here a week.
Yeah, we were lucky. It was, in fact, I think there's a record. It was one of the warmest times in that year. So there was snow, but it wasn't bad at all. Well, Chris, you have you're speaking professionally. You're consulting with some big names: Pepsi-Cola, General Motors, Microsoft. How did this all come about? Working for a telecommunications company, and then now, sitting at the table with decision makers for some major companies about their marketing and social media.
It's strange, Eric, and I have to say that I'm forever grateful that things turned out the way they did, and some of it's just sheer luck and happenstance. But I guess the way it all worked was, when I was in telecom and I was doing other work, I was also using things like social media just for my own passions. I was interested in books, I was interested in movies or whatever, I was writing a lot. And I was using these tools, these online tools, to connect with people who weren't necessarily in my physical locale, but who liked the things I like. I grew up in Maine, and the people around me wanted to talk about sports and cars, and I wanted to talk about science fiction and superheroes back when I was a kid. And so from a long time ago, I just always had that feeling of, wow, I really wish I could spend time with people of like-mindedness that, maybe liked the kinds of things I was into. And professionally, this sort of juxtaposed around 2006 because I was working at this wireless telecom, and I started an event with my friend Chris Penn called PodCamp that you mentioned a little earlier, and that was just about trying to understand if there's business value in blogging, in video blogs and things like that. And we thought, well, let's just get some people together and figure it out. Well, once this all started happening, I went from being a guy working at a telecom to being offered a job running a conference because somebody in my audience saw what I saw and really kind of wanted me to run something bigger. And so from that into the consulting, it was just a matter of I'd been around for so long. I'd been blogging since 1998, and when all these big companies started looking at what they wanted to do, they could sense that I both had enterprise experience. I could talk how big companies talk, but also that I understood this new wave of communication and media that was coming out. So I guess what they were looking at and what they wanted from me was first, some training wheels. How do I get people out into this new web world in a way that doesn't make them feel bad, that's compatible with their business strategies, and then from there, how do I help them, find real revenue out of this? Because at the end of the day, it's wonderful if people are interested in Facebook, but it's a lot more wonderful if they're interested in growing their business and making some business happen.
So, Chris, are big business concerned about the same thing that small businesses are when it comes to social media? I mean, when you sit down with Microsoft or General Motors, are their needs the same as Eric Fraser Real Estate?
It's a really good question. I mean, more so than you even would thought of. I think it's that what I try to teach people, and what happened when we wrote the book, Trust Agents, Julian Smith and I, is we thought there's a real opportunity for companies to be human at a distance. So a company like Microsoft or a company like Comcast Interactive, we were talking about how do you put a human face out there? How do you answer people when they're talking to you? How do you make the conversation two-way? And there's nothing more oversaid in the social media world than the phrase, it's all about the conversation. It's like you could go to bingo anytime anyone wants to talk about how great these things are. It's a conversation. Well, we get that from the fact that when you and I grew up, advertising just talked at us. And, either we were the buyer or we weren't. But
Right.
There's a lot more opportunity for us to walk away from the table. Well, the whole difference is, and what you well know as being a real estate professional, is that sometimes it's a real circuitous route between the first handshake and when somebody's going to need your service. And that's what this set of tools really helps with the most. So in a way, what I teach marketers is how to work the sort of wide end of the sales funnel. And when I just want to stop for 1 second. When I teach marketers, every human being in my mind is in the marketing and sales business, whether or not that's what their business card reads.
Right. Well, that's a great point. So as president of Human Business Works, in fact, I love the name Human Business Works. Your focus is on education and consulting, and you're the president of the company. Tell us more about what you're doing and some of your other collaborations. We had spoken earlier about your meetings with MC Hammer, which I was really shocked to hear the other day and listening to a recorded show of Oprah, because, it's in the middle of the day, right? Wouldn't want my audience to think that I'm at home watching Oprah. But I was blown away by MC Hammer and what he's doing today.
He's quite the businessman. I had the first time I had a chance to meet him was at TechCrunch 40, which I think was either in the end of 2007 or in the beginning of 2008. And frankly, he caused a bit of a stir because everyone was just sort of looking over at him saying, what's MC Hammer doing at this event? And the thing was, some people were there to kind of make a joke or something. Maybe they didn't respect him and they were just sort of making jokes about his music from way back when. And I came over and I said, I promise you I have nothing mean or stupid to say to you, but what are you doing here? And he said, people don't know that I've had this involvement with Apple Corporation to do the QuickTime codec, and I'm working on a social network right now. And ever since then, I've run into him 2 or 3 times at some other events, and, we talk a little bit on places like Twitter. He's a really hardworking guy, and he is very much a guy who's working on, I guess, sort of just growing his opportunities through these tools. I have, through use of social media, had the opportunity to meet a wide variety of people. So guys like MC Hammer. A couple of weeks ago, I stood in front of and spent time with Bob Iger, the chairman of Disney Corporation. This is impossible to think about years ago. There's just no way that anyone would have had a reason to put me side by side with a guy like the head of Disney. And the reason they did was because Disney's using a lot of social media. They have over 100 million fans on their various Facebook presences.
100 million.
100 million. I actually asked him to correct himself because I thought he said the number wrong. And he didn't. And then you think about it, right? Disney is either a love-hate thing. You either are so down with the mouse or it's just not your thing. But you can't fault them for, making hard work. They're working what they're doing. And I guess the excitement with him, Eric, was just that, that all these big people recognize it. Now, it's not like I think Bob Iger sits around and tweets his lunch or, plays Farmville on Facebook, but I'm pretty darn sure that he appreciates what it's doing for him. And even Oprah came around to it a little bit, although she's not exactly tweeting herself, but
right.
She knows it's out there and she knows it's important.
Well, it is important, especially in the real estate business, perhaps more so important now than it's ever been, that real estate professionals get on the bandwagon and